Hi, kindergarten teachers. My name is Kelly, and today I'm going to walk you through the Wants and Needs unit for kindergarten social studies. This unit has 7 lessons plus a summative and can take anywhere between 11 and 20 days, depending on what other activities are completed within the unit. In this unit, students are going to focus on differentiating between basic wants and needs and determine how to make responsible financial decisions that impact themselves and their communities. Our compelling question for this unit is, why is it important to make responsible choices with your resources, such as your money, belongings, abilities, etc.? We have 3 supporting questions again in this unit. Question 1, what does a resource want and need? Question 2, what does it mean to buy, borrow, save, and give something? And question 3, what happens when there's not enough for everyone? We do have a unit slideshow to help you move through your instruction. We have 3 chapters in this unit, 1 per supporting question, and you can see the number of lessons and number of days attached with each. Chapter 1 is called Wants and Needs, and we focus on supporting question 1. What is a want? What is a need? What is a resource? In this lesson, we're going to focus on what wants and needs are and why people make the decisions that they do. So we begin this unit by playing a would you rather game. Would you rather have a cat or a dog? Would you rather wear sneakers or sandals? Would you rather eat an apple or a cookie? And that pulls us into this concept of making choices. After this, then we move into either the finance in the classroom or junior achievement, this or that activity, to learn about making good choices. Lesson 2, we do a quick review about making choices, and we let students know that choices are based on what you need and what you want. So then we define need and we define a want. Then you can go through and practice which one is a need versus want. So in this one, we have our fruits and vegetables versus candy. Fruits and veggies would be the need because it's the healthy food. Candy is the want. Which one is a want? A shirt versus a costume. Costume in this case would be a want. After you practice that, you choose one or more of the activities listed in lesson 2. You can use the Iowa State University's financial literacy lesson plan. Lesson 2, Lily learns about wants and needs, or you can choose any of the other 3 items. You can also do more than one based on what your students need. The formative assessment for chapter 1 is to use one of the activities in lesson 2 to make sure that your students understand wants and needs and how that can affect what choices are made. Chapter 2 is called Making Good Money Choices, and we're focusing on supporting question 2 and learning about the ideas of spending, saving, borrowing, and giving. Lesson 3, we begin with reading the book Betty Bunny Wants Everything, and the story focuses on Betty Bunny, who wants to buy everything and starts to learn the idea of spending versus saving. Then we have a couple of options to choose from: a finance in the classroom activity or to read a book about spending. After which you remind students that Betty Bunny decided to save some of her money and spend the rest on a new toy. Then we can talk about saving, and there are 5 items listed to choose from to practice that. Again, you can do more than one if you'd like. The formative for this is to have students create a response, whether it be written, drawn, or maybe recording a video on Seesaw, describing a time when they think they might need to decide whether they need to spend or save their money. Lesson 4 is all about borrowing, and we have the ISU Financial Literacy Lesson Plan, Lesson 1, Getting What We Need. And the goal for this one is to consider the difference between buying and borrowing. This is very important because it's going to meet Standard 11. We need students to explain the difference in some way. You could make the connection with the library and talk about the idea of borrowing books instead of buying all the books you want. Lesson 5 focuses on giving and considering why it is important to give to others. There are a few suggestions for activities to learn about the importance of giving. You could also consider a taking action activity, which would help meet Standard 4, such as participating in a food drive or creating posters to help others learn about ways to help in the community. The formative for this chapter is for students to explain the difference between buying and borrowing, which is in Lesson 4, and it helps us meet Standard 11. Chapter 3 is called Scarcity. So in this chapter, students are going to learn about what happens when there's not enough for everyone. In lesson 6, students start learning how to think like an economist. So we meet Pete the Pirate, and we find out what an economist does and the types of questions that they ask. After students learn about what an economist is and does, follow the New York Social Studies Unit Lesson 3 plan. Lesson 7 begins by reading the book The Water Princess. The main character in this book is trying to get the water that her family needs. This brings up the concept of scarcity and what that means for people in terms of what they have to do in their daily lives. The unit ends with a summative assessment in which students answer the compelling question, why is it important to make responsible choices with your resources? As a teacher, you'll provide a list. Students will make choices about their wants and needs and then explain why they made that particular decision. I hope this video was a helpful resource as you prepare to teach the Wants and Needs unit for social studies in kindergarten. Be sure to reach out to your PLC leader, instructional coach, or curriculum facilitator if you have any questions or in need of any support.